And is his delivery, like, does it look different from last year? Like, I know he's talked about some of the small changes he's made.
It does. It's subtle, I think, to the eye, but for me, it's a lot more athletic. I think you saw that out of the windup, and the command out of the windup, the stuff was really good. Then when he got in the stretch, he started getting a little bit disconnected, losing the command a little bit, but that's part of spring training. But overall, I thought the stuff was good, and I like where he's at.
He said he forgot about the side season out of the stretch.
Yeah, no, but that's part of it. I mean, I think that, this whole offseason he's been trying to work on kind of getting more athletic, getting his delivery right, which can kind of take care of his arm, and he's done that. Now you got the subtleties of competing and how to navigate a game.
You had a lot of the relievers that you leaned on last year in October. What's the process with them as far as just monitoring how they bounce back?
Well, they're going to go, I think, against the Rockies. I think that's their next time. So I think that's Thursday, right? So I think that for us, it just seems like they're on the same work schedule.
Yeah.
And they're all doing one inning. And today I just kind of wanted to get them in, out, get them out of here. And then as the spring gets on, I'll push them later in the game.
Do you think you'll separate them, or are they always going to be together?
That's more of a Mark Prior question. But I think that it probably depends on how they grow, if they need an extra day. But I think for the most part, we'll probably try to keep them on the same schedule.
Did you see Lux out here pregame today?
I didn't get a chance to see Gavin. I text with Gavin once in a while. It looks certainly different, him being in a Reds uniform. I've said it from the beginning. I think it's going to be a great opportunity for him, and he's going to probably be upset with me for running all those lefties at him today.
We did ask him about that.
It wasn't intentional, I promise.
Yeah. He didn't say that.
What was your message to him after the trade?
I just said that I thanked him for everything he did. I think it's going to be a great opportunity. I think he's going to love playing for Cheeto and, take care of business. But he's got a good foundation here as a big leaguer, and his career needs to take a step forward.
Just doing something off that MLB report in the offseason about why starters aren't going as long as they did maybe in previous eras. What do you think can be done to change that, or is there anything that can be done to such a litigated
outside of just changing rules, as far as some of the things people are trying to talk about to incentivize, managers to keep guys in games longer, it's a max effort game, I think, from the offensive side, from the pitching side. So I think it's kind of a longer discussion.
Would you like to see any of those rule changes experimented with in the minors or anything like that?
I think getting starters to be built up and go longer, deeper in the game is good for the game. All right, guys.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Yep.
Just to get out there, get an inning of work. How did it feel on the mound?
Good. It was nice to be back out there. It's been a while. It's been an actual game. I felt sharp. I felt good.
Dave was talking earlier about just kind of managing, obviously, the work you've been doing this offseason, looking to be kind of more in that athletic kind of body work and mindset. How did you feel just putting it out there and playing in a game with some of those adjustments you've made?
It felt really good. I didn't think about it. I think that's kind of more for practice. I think it is, Dave hit on it, but a theme of just like, I'm going to try and work on when I go out to the game, just be as athletic as I can. And I looked at a little video, looked good. I didn't think about it, and the mechanics felt solid.
How different, are the mechanics this year for you, just kind of mentally when you're pitching? Has it felt like a big change, or is it just kind of more subtle stuff?
Not a huge change. It's more just how I land, and I don't want to be super open. It's really not a huge difference. It's just a small step for healthier, kind of towards the catcher mechanics, I guess. Yeah. Sweet.
Is it always I mean, for bigger body guys, there's a challenge of syncing everything up. Is that kind of the mentality of not trying to think about that too much?
Yeah, I think once you put a conscious thought into it, there's always some sort of delay with mechanics. So I think it's fine in practice when I'm working on stuff. I'm not moving full speed, but once I get into the game, just try to forget about it. And even I think today when no one was on, I felt great. And then when a guy got on first, I hadn't done much of a quick step in a while, and I was like, oh yeah, I gotta So I think there was a little bit more kind of figuring that out, but in a whole, everything was good.
Was there a sense of being more anxious to get to camp and to get into these games after the way the season ended for you and not being part of that run?
Kinda. I'm always trying to get back. I think it's kind of like summer break when you're like, oh, okay, we have time off, and then time goes on. I'm like, I want to go back and I'm bored. I want to go pitch. So I've always been pretty like ready to come back quick. But it's been nice, and I'm glad I can pitch this spring. It's been a while.
When you pitch an inning in the game and then you go into the bullpen, would you rather be in the game, or does it serve a purpose to throw in the bullpen?
I think it serves a purpose. I'd rather be in the game, but I don't know if I'm like the best person to ask. I think they were like, go throw, finish it in the bullpen, you know. But yeah, I think they're both going getting a second inning or going out there. I think the mechanics are still synced up. You're still hot. So even when I went out there, like the same stuff it felt similar to the game. So I think what I needed to work on, I could work on out there.
A few weeks left in camp. Is there anything you're hoping to kind of just like do these next 2 weeks? Especially, I know that the plan's not for you to be pitching in a regular season game in Tokyo, but just how are you kind of approaching just closing out this time here in Arizona?
I think just the only difference between this year and the other years, I think, is like to practice those changes, and then I think have that separation from game to practice and just be an athlete, kind of like we talked about. But business as usual, and just try to stay healthy, work with the guys here, and just kind of treat it like another season.
Have they left that door open for you that you may pitch in Tokyo?
I don't know. I haven't really talked to them about it. I'm still just. I'll go after I throw a couple more innings and stuff. Maybe we'll figure it out. But right now, I'm just kind of thinking about just the few I have coming up.
今シーズンのドジャースはまさに夢と希望に満ちたチームと言えるでしょう。新たなシーズンを迎えるにあたり、選手たちの闘志がどれほど燃え上がっているか、皆さんも感じているのではないでしょうか。特に怪我から復帰する選手たちが見せる決意と努力には胸が熱くなりますね。ボビーの復活への道、勇気と誇りを胸に、ボビーが再びマウンドに立つ準備を進めていると聞いたとき、驚きと感動が入り込んじる気持ちになりました。あの怪我の瞬間は、本当に息を飲むような恐ろしい出来事でした。しかし、彼の強い意志と仲間の支えが、再び彼を前へと突き動かしているのです。彼が今後どのようなピッチングを見せてくれるのか、期待が高まりますね。ドジャースファンの皆さん、彼の背中を押し続けていきましょう。新戦力も絶好調、グラスノーとスネルに注目。そして、この春季キャンプで最も注目を集めているのが、タイラー、グラスノーとブレイク、スネルのピッチングです。新しい環境での挑戦に対して、彼らは自分自身と向き合い、最高のパフォーマンスを発揮しようとしています。グラスノーは投球フォームの改良に取り組み、より効率的な投球ができるようになりました。スネルはドジャースの新たな一員として自分のスタイルを確立しようとしています。彼らの活躍がチームの勝利にどう結びつくのか目が離せません。大谷翔平の進化、ファンの期待を背負って、そして何といっても大谷翔平の存在がチームの勢いを加速させています。彼のバッティング、走塁、フィールドでの動きには誰もが目を奪われることでしょう。彼が本格的に試合に出場する日が近づいており、すでにドジャースのユニフォームを着てプレーする姿が待ちきれません。シーズンが始まれば、彼の一振りが試合の流れを変え、ファンを熱狂させる瞬間が訪れることでしょう。フレディ・フリーマンの頼もしさ。また、フレディ・フリーマンが復帰を目指して着々と準備を進めています。彼のプレーがチームにもたらす影響は計り知れません。守備でも攻撃でも存在感を放つ彼が、今シーズンどのような活躍を見せてくれるのか、楽しみで仕方がありませんね。チーム全体の結束力が鍵。ドジャースは、個々の能力だけでなく、チーム全体の団結力が勝利の鍵となるチームです。クリス、テイラーをはじめとする選手たちは、ポジションに関係なく、チームのために全力を尽くす姿勢を見せています。これこそが、ドジャースが強い理由の一つです。ファンの皆さんと共に戦う。このチームには、勝利に対する強い意志と、何よりも、応援してくれるファンの皆さんの力が欠かせません。ドジャースはただの野球チームではありません。これは、ファンと選手が一体となって戦う、家族のような存在なのです。さあ、これからの試合で、どんなドラマが待っているのか、考えるだけでワクワクしませんか。皆さんの熱い応援が、選手たちの背中を押し、最高のパフォーマンスを引き出します。ドジャースファンの皆さん、準備はいいですか？シーズンが本格化する前に、私たちと一緒にワクワク感を分かち合いましょう。この動画が少しでも面白いと思ったら、いいね、ボタンを押して、チャンネル登録をよろしくお願いします。これからもドジャースの最新情報や興奮の瞬間を、皆さんと一緒に追いかけていきます。次の試合で何が起こるのか、 今から楽しみですね。